Hello and welcome. There we go. Audio is here. Welcome to the Doctor Who The Edge of Destruction live community viewing. I'm so excited to be here today. Break out your VHS's, DVDs, or get on BritBox because we're about to start on the hour. We'll be watching Doctor Who The Edge of Destruction, the third ever Doctor Who story. We can hear you too. Thank you, Boba Tennant. Hello to Luke Bushell and Daniel Richardson and Lewis Frisbee. Welcome. Banjo-Kazooie59, hello. How are you all doing? I am very excited to be here today. Let's see about lighting. Anything we can do. Got some harsh overhead lighting in this setup, but this is the third ever Doctor Who story, and you can get it on the Beginning Collection box set. One of very few box sets in Region 1, and it actually doesn't even get its own DVD. It gets added on to the Daleks, which makes sense. It's only 2 episodes. Hello, has the thumbnail changed? Not sure what you mean by that. It should say The Edge of Destruction. And then we also have the re-release from 2012, yes. And this contains all 3 stories very compactly. Very nice for the Minimalist 5. How are you all doing today, and how are you watching this episode? Is it going to be on VHS, on DVD, on BritBox? Speaking of BritBox, I need to get that loaded up on my computer. Don't want to miss the start time. This is a 2-part story. One of very few 2-part stories. Bud Simpson, not sure if you got my last text. Just want to say great choice of picking the episode. Thank you. I always liked it because it is a character-driven story as opposed to a typical Monster of the Week story. Yeah, it's a very cool. It's sort of like a base under siege. You're trapped inside the TARDIS, and especially like the whole point of this. We think of the TARDIS as this ginormous space that goes on and on forever. So you're not really kind of trapped in this infinite dimension. But the whole point of this story was that they didn't have the time to build more sets, so they just used the ones that were there. So it does have a very claustrophobic feel. I've got to remember my BritBox password. That's the worst. All right, I think we should be back. I think the Wi-Fi should be fixed. The extender had come unplugged, so we plugged it back in. All right, let me know if we're back and we're connected. It's almost time to start, so make sure you're ready. We've got 1 minute to go. I need to pull it up on BritBox. Doctor Who. Hello, searching wildly to get to The Edge of Destruction. Very first episode. All right, not an elderly child, not the Daleks. All right. Oh, phew. We're there. Get ready to press play. Good, you're back. Thank you, Daniel, for letting me know. Get ready to hit play. It's just 1 minute to go. 10:59. I'm watching on the UK DVD. Streamed through Plex. Nice. I bought the Dr. Seuss guide on Big Finish. Lewis, that's great. Dr. Seuss guide. I'm watching the last 2 parts of The War Machines. All right. If you're ready, hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit play. Bud Simpson, welcome back, lol. Yes. Oh, that classic Hartnell theme. Gotta love it. All right. It's you're either watching on DVD, VHS, BritBox. Maybe you're pulling out the novelization. Who knows? All right. Oh, this is so 60s. I love it. Early Doctor Who. I love all these buffer names you guys came up with. That's a lot. You covered a lot of it. Wow. Oh boy. They've all been knocked unconscious. Ooh. Taking a nap. You never see the TARDIS team take a nap. Probably because it's not that entertaining. But it gives the impression that nobody sleeps on the TARDIS. What? Oh no! You can hear my... What? You can hear my... Should hope not. Okay, let's try it now. Haven't seen you in a while, Benji Kazoo 59 says, yes, it's been a little bit since the last live stream, but I'm so glad to be back, and this should work. This shouldn't, fingers crossed, this shouldn't crash. The Wi-Fi was a separate issue, but we fixed that. I need to get my glasses. Shouldn't watch this on my PC because it's too small. Dan Johnson says, I feel that, Good, I'm glad. Oh, apparently you could hear my BritBox. That's wild. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't get any sort of copyright trouble there. Yeah. Oh, Susan's up. Susan is up. Boba, I've retweeted that on Twitter. That is a hilarious picture of K1. So definitely check out Boba Tennant over on Twitter. If you want to see that, it's at Boba Tennant. I'll link to it in the chat. Welcome to the Doctor Guy. Louis Frisbee says we'll help you grow your knowledge collection and Wi-Fi connection. Yes. Oh, they've just found the Doctor. Oh no, this is a low camera angle right here. Oh, that's cool. Back when the TARDIS had chairs. That makes sense. They're not going to be standing 24/7. Things happen way more in real time because the way this is shot is, sort of minimal cuts and you film as much as possible. So normally 60s Doctor Who had a lot longer scenes than the Doctor Who that we know and love today. So it was already more theater-like than anything because they didn't have, many edits that they could use for an episode. But for something like this where it's all in one set, I'm sure that the scenes were even longer to do than normal. So Meow's Lady announces that we're going to do 2-part Classic Who in the mornings on Saturday now. If so, I vote for the rescue next Saturday. I was looking at classic 2-part stories for this, but I just felt like some Hartnell this weekend. And I also have more stuff later in the afternoon, so this was the only way I could fit it in if we were going to get in a stream. Haven't took part in a watch along since the Stolen Earth and Journeys, and Daniel Richardson says that was a little while ago. So I'm glad that you're joining us now. We've got this cool scarf medical thing that's about to be applied. Yesterday I watched the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Lewis says that's so cool. Such a good episode. Oh. First Doctor. He just spoke. He's rambling. Me in every video. My reaction to my own videos. He's rambling. I like that they actually showed the food and water machine on the TARDIS. We need that again. We know where the 13th Doctor gets her custard creams, but we need to know more about how food works on the TARDIS. I love this TARDIS team so much, Danny says, right? Banjo. Alex, we still need your autograph. Aw. One time, one of you said that you would have me sign your Lost in Time collection, and I was like, That's wild. It's so. I don't know if I could ever bring myself to do that. I guess if you wanted me to, but I'd worry I was ruining the resale value of a box set. But we should watch Meg Lost a Robot next week. No way, Boba Tennant. How about War Games? Isn't that briefly your favorite? So I was letting down this water/food machine needs to make an appearance in New Who. I was typing this as Alex P said it. True story. Oh, that's great. Ryan Exton says I watched Warriors Gate yesterday. Enjoyed it a lot. That's awesome. Warriors Gate is a fun one. It's a sad goodbye, too. Oh no. TARDIS stores are closing. They are trapped. I saw a Series 4 box set in a charity shop this morning for £5. I think it was worth it to add it to my collection. Nice one, Dan. Congrats. Is there a production reason why it focuses on the companions? Dan Johnson says. That's a good question. I don't believe so. Because William Hurt was still very able to say his lines at this point. Oof. Susan just hit William Hurt. Carol Ann Ford's hand just hit William Hartnell's head. They kept it in. My Series 6 Steelbook arrived this morning, Dan Johnson says. So happy. That's amazing. I had no idea that was out. Oh, then, yeah, War Games would also be a fun one. We could do a back-to-back watch of Robot, War Games, and end with Magloss. Wow, that's 18 episodes. That's quite an eclectic watch-along. Lewis says, I haven't seen the story before, and I already love it. Good. I'm so glad. Banjo, on the other hand, Banjo-Kazooie 59 says, this isn't one of my favorite Hartnell stories, but it's an interesting first season episode, very indicative of the era. Yeah, it's the same. It's not my favorite, but it's a part of that experimental attitude that you get with 62. Like, let's try this really wild, different format, because they're still figuring out who they are. Oh, these beds that fold down. So economic on space. They're more of like comfy lawn chairs. Doesn't come out till Monday, Dan Johnson says they only do one take, so I hate it when they mess up. Oh, really? Too bad that Marco Polo is still a lost episode, Bud Simpson says, and hasn't been animated yet, or we might have a complete season one Blu-ray box set. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. That's why I hope they'll do 2-part sets, because then we could actually get some seasons where there's only one story left to be animated. You could still get sort of the second half of the first half. Feels weird doing it at 4 p.m. Lewis says yes, or much earlier time slot than normal. Sir Mouse89 says, Alex P, I just got my Tom Baker Season 3 Blu-rays for our region. Nice. That's an hour and 17-minute long documentary about Elizabeth Sladen. I'm going to watch it this afternoon. I hope you have Kleenex on hand. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Sure, it's amazing. Uh-oh. Susan's got the scissors. Oh, boy. Alexander says, hey, Alex, I see you're watching the story that almost got Doctor Who canceled. Ooh. Please do expand upon that. It's very true that the Daleks... Well, see, the Daleks rated really well, but what do you mean by that? The Cool Gang, hello, welcome. We're watching The Edge of Destruction. Boba Tana says, Alex, I found an eBay listing of some sealed Regia 2 DVDs in Canada. I've bid on 2 for my collection and another for someone special. Aww. Wow, thank you so much. Oh, well, I hope that you win on the bids and it goes well. I hope they will animate some more William Hartnell stories, Daniel Richardson says, right? They're really focusing on Troughton at the moment, which is fun and awesome and great. I'm not complaining as long as they're animating some Doctor Who. But at some point, they're going to have to, if only for lack of no more Troughton stories to animate, they're going to have to animate some Hartnell stories. I really have to think that, like, for just the 2 episodes of the Crusade, don't animate all 4. Just do 2 for the Crusade. Like, does that make it a little more equivalent to doing a 6-part story, a full one? Kazooie 59 says, "Yeah, I watched the whole of Hartnell, and I can easily say that I prefer his later seasons, but the first season does have a special experimental educational charm to it." See, it's the TARDIS team that I love the most in season 1. I think that the Daleks, Keys Amaranus, and Unearthly Child Part 1, Aztecs, I love the Reign of Terror, and the Sensorites. So I really do have a soft spot for season 1. Wasn't it also known as Inside the Spaceship? You are correct, bud. This episode had several names, as well as the Edge of Destruction. It was Inside the Spaceship as well. Also, they're $8 each and free shipping and absolute steal, Boba Tennis says. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're getting a good deal. Lewis says, I got the complete Sarah Jane Adventures box set, and there was a documentary called Remembering Elizabeth Sladen. I cried my eyes out. That's so cool that you got that set. And yes, we are all going to cry our eyes out listening to that documentary. I've bid on the Power of the Dalek Steelbook. Dan Johnson says it ends in a few hours, so hopefully I win. I hope you win too, and that it doesn't go, that the price doesn't skyrocket. We need to get Marco Polo animated, and Philip says, I totally agree. Boba says, Alex, there are so many problems with why they can't do the Crusade. Sadly, there are so many characters, and the audio quality is very poor. Yes, you are right. There's a lot of characters in that. But at some point, they've got to get around to it. They've got to. What season would you like to be released in the Blu-ray collection that hasn't been released yet? Luke says, well, I like anything that fills a gap on the shelf. So season 11 for Pertwee would be really cool, because then we'd have 10, 11, 12. Likewise, season 13 would be a big hit. Lots of great stories in that. Then we'd have 12, 13, 14. I'd love 15. 16 would be brilliant. 20 for the 5th Doctor, I want to come out next. And then any 7th Doctor one would be awesome. Jetterton. Going into 12, yes. I love how the poor 1st Doctor gets Ian's last name messed up so often. It's adorable. Hey Alex, do you have the Region 1 Season 26 Blu-ray box set yet? Ryan asks. I do, at long last. I got it from Facebook Marketplace, and I haven't filmed the unboxing yet. But I have it at last. I'm so excited. Just so excited. I really want them to animate Galaxy 4. Daniel Richardson says that would be a good one, too. I mean, well, that would be sort of an underrated story. I don't think it's really a highly regarded Hartnell story as a whole, but it would be cool. That's cool that you want it animated. It'd be cool to have any Hartnell animated. And Susan gets the scissors. Alexander says, parents were infuriated that Susan used scissors as a weapon because they didn't want children to learn about dangerous household objects. Doctor Who almost got canceled for it. The scissors are definitely, yeah, that's not something you want to encourage kids to use as a weapon. Not at all. Hopefully, in the context of the story, you can see that it's not a good thing that she's using those. So, yeah, it's definitely not glorifying that, but it is. I can see why parents would have been a little bit worried about that. Steelbooks. Hey, John Fisher. Hello, everyone. I had some time. I thought I would pop in while running some errands. Well, thank you for joining. We are 15 minutes into the Edge Destruction Part 1. The steelbooks look great together, but the new rating really triggers me. And Phil says, I know they changed. What was it, the 12 logo? Or I suppose they've updated them all, and now as a result, we're getting them on the Region 2 releases. Sir Meowslot also wants Galaxy 4. That's awesome. Have you guys seen the vinyl for Galaxy 4? Looks really cool. Banjo Kazoo 59 says, I'm not a huge fan of Galaxy 4. I prefer something else, maybe from the later seasons. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be the first on my list for Hartnell. I'd want the Marco Polo or the Crusade, but those are really unlikely, as well as the Daleks Master Plan. But they could release the Daleks Master Plan in 2 parts. That would be really cool. I love 62. He's gone to turn on the scanner. Dun dun dun. I would love to see the Savages and the Massacre animated. Quarter to 12 says the Massacre would be great. That's really the one to do, I think. Alex, which is better, the printed paper copy of your season 26 or the real one? I like the paper one because of its charm. Yes. Oh, I still have that. Still have that. Alex, what is the cardboard season 26 in a video? Lewis asks. It was a placeholder for an upcoming video that's going to be a timeline of how your Doctor Who collection would have grown for Region 1 if you've been collecting all the VHSs when they came out, and then replacing them with DVDs as they come out, and special editions as they came out, and Blu-rays as they come out. So originally I thought I was going to have to make the 7th Doctor episode of that series with a placeholder for the season 26 Blu-ray, but now I might just try and recreate the last photo because it's sort of stop animation because the camera stays in the same place and the collection grows or shrinks as a new release comes in. So I'll have to like reposition the camera in the same way, but then I can just set up what the final shot would have looked like. So I'll definitely show it in the unboxing video that I do of this of the season 26 set, but it might not actually end up in that video. Is my long way of saying that. The Savages is one of my favorite horror novels. Banjo-Kazooie 59 says just another fun 60s sci-fi like arc. Ooh, I love this music. And just the space, it's great. The Mythmakers. This is very Star Trek music, a little bit in the music. Whose books? Hi Alex, sorry I'm late not watching today, but came to chat about Who. Had an email from Amazon saying my Series 6 Steelbook is coming Monday. I can't wait for it. That's awesome. Hashtag use the paper season 26 instead of the real one. Oh, it's great. Yes, I'm glad I'm not alone about the rating changing. Dan Johnson says it's changed for the Series 6 Steelbook. Really? Oh boy. The paranoia is rampant. I would love to see the Celestial Toymaker animated. Alexander says people always say it's such a visual story, but Doctor Who hasn't brought it to the visual medium yet. Yes, it is a very visual story, but unfortunately, the ones that are most visual are the hardest to animate. Wow. Barbara's standing up for herself. This is great. Putting him in his place. Whew. Wow. Wow. Oh, the clock melting is so creepy. Surmi Azlanita says, I love Vicky. I would like them to animate all the missing episodes. Yes. Vicky and Steven. Let's see, Vicky's missing episodes. Yeah, the Mythmakers would be great, actually. That's another one with probably a lot of characters in that one. Hashtag use the cardboard. I think it's most likely that they'll make a Hardo animation. It'll be sci-fi like the Savages. Sadly, although I do love the story, Banjo-Kazooie 59 says. Boba Tender says, my season 14 Blu-ray has been delayed, but it should arrive soon. I'm so glad that it's still coming. I know that some of the pre-order, the stock was a little short, so some people had their pre-orders canceled. So, but I've heard that you can get it through Walmart as well, so there's a tip. Lewis said, I was speaking to Boba and joked I haven't watched Robot, and his reaction was priceless. Oh, I bet. Boba loves Robot. Is Doctor Who at the Proms 2010 on the Steelbook? Whose Books asks. Ooh, I hope so. The problem with animating episodes like The Savages of Marco Polo, Bud Simpson says, is because of the high cost to do so, due to the amount of characters and the complex backgrounds that would need to be animated. Yes. Hopefully, they see that the demand for the animated episodes is high enough that they could recoup the investment. Because I can't imagine now that they've started animating the episodes that they would still leave gaps, especially when you could turn those into Blu-ray box sets. But then I like the 10th Planet better. This is Survey Hustle at 89. Oh boy. Barbara is underrated, Alexander says, even by the scriptwriters. Lol, yeah. That's partly why I love the Keys of Martin, is because she actually worked alone to save her friends by beating up some aliens with a rock. You're right, Alex. They're like modern Doctor Who does character development and really emotional scenes really well. As a result, you can get stories that are too character focused, and I don't see anything rash in apologizing to Barbara. Love it. And as a result, it gets too character focused, and so when you go back to watch the episodes, once you know the plot, it's not as interesting. They're not necessarily as timeless. 60s Doctor Who does some plot like really well because they are such often standalone stories. They can stand the test of time better, but what they don't do is like really emotional character development scenes. So I really do wish, and that's actually why I love the novelizations. I'll get on a little rant for a moment, but I love David Whitaker's, who wrote this episode. I love his novelizations because they really do give you that inner dialogue from the character's point of view that gives you this emotionality that makes the characters very real. And the way he writes, it's so easy to visualize it in your head and get sucked into the story. So I've read his novelization of the Daleks, and that ties in part one of An Unearthly Child with the rest of the Daleks, which I love. I would prefer that. Let's skip the 3 episodes of the cavemen talking about fire and just go straight into the Daleks. I love it. So that's what I think I wish they had done, is given Barbara and Susan. That's part of why I think Carol Ann Ford left, is because her character was initially, they were promising a lot more for her character to do, but then it was just a bunch of screaming and twisted ankles. This book says I bought 3 of the new B&M sets today from my local B&M. That's awesome. Didn't have any Second Doctor and TARDIS, and the 2, because from my local B&M didn't have any. So the Second Doctor TARDIS and the 2 History of the Dalek sets, though, but happy with what I got. Okay, cool. So you got the Unit set and the 13th Doctor set and the Companions of the 4th Doctor set, is that correct? Try to keep track of these B&M sets. I would love them to animate some of my least favorite stories, like Evil of the Daleks, to see if I would enjoy them more in animation. Daniel Richardson says that would be very cool. Oh no! The Doctor's getting throttled. Next episode, The Brink of Disaster. Oh boy. The last episode of The Web of Fear should be animated. Nathan Epley says, yes, I agree. And The Underwater Menace, even though it's already on DVD, I feel like they should animate that as well. I wish they released a new Blu-ray box set. Louis Frisbee says, yes. Oh, that would be so lovely. But we did recently get the news about Fury from the Deep, so I can't complain that they haven't given us an announcement yet. Hit play in part 2 in 3, 2, 1. All right, part 2 is starting for me. This cliffhanger of the Doctor standing up against the War Machines is great. Bo Dennis says, I'm really loving this story. That's awesome. The War Machines is a great one. I would say 2 Hartnell stories that have recently gone up in my appreciation for them: the War Machines and the Time Meddler. Love those stories a lot more than I thought I would. Or than I remembered loving it. I'd love the Crusade just to get a season 2 box set. Patrick Kazoo 59 says, I think that the Dalek Invasion Earth would look great on Blu-ray. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. They will end up animating all the lost episodes eventually. A fag once says, I totally agree. Well, I hope that you are right. Ian was the one who tried to throttle the Doctor. I mean, honestly, if I had to place bets on who would throttle the Doctor in this episode, I would have guessed Barbara. The Brink of Disaster. What a cool title. What do you prefer, The Brink of Disaster or The Edge of Destruction as the title for this story? No one has said it yet. There is no probs on the Steelbook. Really? Dan Johnson says, that's crazy. Barbara beating of the aliens was so cool when looking at the time it was made, with how women were viewed in society in the 60s. Alexander says, something like that was awesome to see. Yes. And having Verity Lambert as a producer, unheard of in the BBC. It's really cool that Doctor Who's been standing up against sexism from the very beginning, even though they still had a long way to go in a lot of these 60s stories, and we still do today. What's coming out next on the Blu-ray sets? A fag one says, I wish I knew. The most commonly guessed ones are season 11, season 20, and season 2 potentially, but that's very sort of unlikely because the Crusade is very hard to animate. I don't think there's a complete classic season, is there? This book says, what do you think this announcement will be in a few days? I haven't heard about said announcement in a few days. I hope it's a Blu-ray set announcement. Could be a Time Lord Victorious thing, though. Oh, I mean, of Doctors 1 and 2, there's not a complete Blu-ray season for any of the 60 seasons, any of the first 6 seasons. I mean, if you think about it, a lot, those Blu-rays would be huge. I mean, to have season 26 have, 7 discs? I can't imagine an 8 or 10 part season all on one Blu-ray. I just don't know how they could fit that in. I think they'll have to split them up, especially if they're going to have a ton of Blu-ray bonus features, which I hope that they do. Philip Morris found something recently, Boba Tennant says, and there was a press release that made someone freak out. So maybe some episodes are coming back. That would be amazing. I always wait until I have it physically in a DVD in my hands to believe it, or at least until I see it officially from the BBC. But that would be amazing. I'm not a big fan of the first Doctor, but the Time Meddler is great, Dan Johnson says. That's awesome. You love the Time Meddler as well. And Season 7, Louis Frisbee says, that would be amazing. Season 1 of Classic Who's almost complete. I know, Nathan, I know. I so want it on Blu-ray. Can you do a video on all the Time Lord Victorious things announced so far, Danny Richardson? That's it. That's a good idea. If you want to know, then I would definitely suggest going to merchandise.thedoctorwhosite.co.uk because they track those things really well. So it turns out Ian wasn't trying to throttle the Doctor. He was just trying to stop anybody from going towards the door. Ooh. Oh, poor Ian. They're all going crazy in the ship. I quite like the Brink of Disaster better. Luke says, nice, nice. I've still got £40 saved up for the next Blu-ray box set. Whose books? That's a good idea. What is this saving up for a set before it comes out? Instead of spending all your money immediately on Doctor Who. No, that's a good idea. We still need Marco Polo. Banjo-Kazooie 59 says, yes. Yeah. That's 7 very character-driven historical parts that is going to be hard to animate. I wish I was more into Time Lord Victorious, Boba Tennant says. There's way too much being revealed and it's very confusing. However, if Robot or Meglos is mentioned, I will try to learn everything. The Sensorites and the Time Meddler are among my favorite Hartnell stories. A fag one says, I love the censor rights. Love it. I have very good memories of watching it with Julia, and we both really enjoyed it, and I love that story. I'm back in. Philip says, "Yay!" I'm looking forward to the next Blu-ray box set. Ryan says, "Not sure what it's going to be though. I'd say maybe season 8. That would be cool. That would be cool. First series with the Master. You got the demons on it. Imagine the press releases that they announced they have found all of the missing episodes. Wouldn't that be? Imagine that. Wouldn't that be awesome? Whose books? I'm looking forward to the next Blu-ray box set. Ryan says. Oh, I just read that comment. I really want season 13 of Blu-ray. That would be amazing. Alex McDowell says, I think that's probably one of the favorite seasons to be released. I think we'll get other seasons before then because they might want to save the best for last. I spent my money I had saved up for the next set, so if it's announced within the next 2 weeks, you're up. There's a saying, you're up the river without a paddle. You're up the creek without a paddle. Is that it? And Village says, yep. You're in trouble. Oh, I know that feeling. I need to save up for this latest US Blu-ray set. I just got caught up for like a day. I think the season 26 Blu-ray arrived like a day before, or I was very briefly caught up on the Blu-rays for the US, and now I need to track that one down too. Whoa. Sense Rights is amazing, Danny Richardson says, and one of the most underrated stories I've ever seen. I'm glad we have some fans of the Censor Rights. Key to Time Blu-ray box set would be awesome. Fagmon says, I totally agree. Even though, I have it on VHS, have it on DVD, have it on the box set with all the DVDs, I have it on special edition DVD, I have the Digipack box set, I will totally get the Blu-ray set when it comes out. I just love all the stories. The Rivals Operation is my favorite from that season. Talk about underrated. I love this idea of what would happen if the column came out completely. "10 minutes to survive." How many different Key to Time box sets do you need, Alex McDowell? Just all the ones that were released. I have not been getting the collection sets, but I will get one if it is William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, Daniel Richardson says. So any of the 60s, those ones will go out of stock like crazy. I hope they accurately predict the... I hope that they adequately predict the amount of stock they need to make for that. Benji Kazoo 15 says, I think that the Key to Time wouldn't be very well received because it's already been released as a DVD box set. Like how some people didn't want to get season 23 because of that. I think that's a barrier, but for me, there's just so much so much value that the new sets provide that I don't see how people don't want to upgrade with the new bonus features. I get it if they're expensive and you can't access them, but for the US where they're fairly reasonably priced, especially if you like, I think for me when I already have the episode, so I don't want to pay like $60 or $70 for a set new, even though I have done that in the past. Right now, I would rather pay $30 to $40 for each set. But that's because I already have them on DVD. But if you don't have any of the episodes ever, $60 for, you know, 7 or 8 stories is a really good price on Blu-ray. I missed the intro in your latest video, Alex Aiden Phillips. Yes, I missed it too. I had to film it all in one take because of just the time that I had, and also I was on the iPhone and my computer, my editing software will not open. It's so frustrating. I'm trying all the fixes. You're now on my TV, Aiden Phillips says. Hello from your TV, Aiden. Barb's explanation still makes absolutely no sense to me. Patrick Suey 59 says, maybe. I love Harno. 62. Now this is a high shot too. They've gone all the way down to the floor and then all the way up to the top. The Colin Baker Blu-ray Season 23 special features are so good. The Lunch with Colin Baker is great, Surveillance on 89 says. And the Cookbook Revisited. The bonus features are just the best reason to get the new Blu-ray sets. Hello, George. How are you, Paracrazy123? Welcome. Technology can be frustrating. Yes, Alex, you're so right there. You're so still there. I thought you were buffering in. Philip says, I was excited. I was just enraptured with this Doctor Who episode. When I first got Vegas, I had a multiple-month saga with customer support because the hardware acceleration GPU wouldn't work. Banjo Kazooie 59. Yes, that is so frustrating, and I'm going to have to call customer support and figure this out. But yeah, so it was funny because OBS is really good for screen recording. I had no idea that it was so good. I've downloaded so many free, or you can only record for 3 minutes long screen recorders, but OBS does a great job. And I love when the lights go out and it's just the Doctor and the console. It's framed so well. He's figured it out. So cool. It's just a static shot. Now it's zooming in. So cool. So I used that to record the Fury from the Deep video, and that was all one take as well, because I did not have a lot of time to film that. I wanted to get it out as quick as possible. So it's just like, oh, if this had been timed better, if the news had dropped on a Friday about the Fury from the Deep, that this would have all worked out so well. I've always used OBS for screen recording and capture because it's open source and just so good. Yeah, it really is. I got this DVD at a car boot sale for £3. Nice. Paracrazy123 has got a surprise Blu-ray to show on the quiz. Any idea what it is, anyone? No idea. No idea, Par. Well, that's cool. I look forward to seeing that. Let's switch. Classic Who is on the public broadcasting in my state. It is on the second Doctor right now. Nathan says, that's so cool. That's so cool. Oh. It's stuck. I think the press release is something to do with Revolution of the Daleks. Interesting. Oh, that would be cool. Aiden asks, how old are you? I am 22. 23 in October. As is my sister and brother. We're triplets. So, very cool. Clack of the Geek, hello! Hello, Hukru. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here. Welcome. We are almost 16 minutes into part 2 of The Edge of Destruction, The Brink of Disaster. Oh, the lights are back on. Hello, Clack of the Geek. Daniel Richardson says. Yes, War Machine gets a number out of 10 from me, but you'll have to wait till Wednesday to find out, Boba Tennant, when you do your review. So definitely subscribe if you want to see Boba Tennant's opinion, if you want to hear about Boba Tennant's opinion on the War Machines. I love it. It was the Switch. Hashtag fast return Switch. Hashtag Riplets. It's great. Oh my gosh. We're all exactly the same age. Here in the UK, we have a channel called W, and they show new Who episodes of Doctor Who this Sunday. They're showing Series 11. That's awesome, Who's Books. Opening the window now, it's boiling here. Patrick Zoo 59 says, it's not too bad at the moment. I'm at a good temperature. I remember watching this ages ago, one of the first stories I watched in the beginning box set. Clack the Geek says, yes, I've got it here. I've got it here. I kind of want to watch Robot now on my new Region 2 DVD. Boba Tennant says, yes, you should double check that all the bonus features are on that release. Oh. Bud Simpson says, 23. Great to see a Doctor Who fan that still appreciates the classic series. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We love it all. We love it all. Got into it in 2008 on Netflix with the Modern series. And got into classic Doctor Who from there. Been addicted ever since. Now he's got to apologize to Barbara. I love the classic series, Lewis Ripley says. So glad to hear it. I got into Doctor Who back in 2016, Boba Tennant says. Hello, everyone. Totally forgot. No worries. The classic Doctor Who years fan. I'm glad you made it. Stop by. Got 4 minutes left of The Edge of Destruction, The Brink of Disaster. I just love this TARDIS crew. I really do. Last year, I had to be a New Beginnings box set because the disc on An Unethic Child was scratched and it annoyed me. Whose books I would be annoyed too. Lewis says, I got into Doctor Who in 2008 as well. I was 2 years old. Oh my word. I would have been 11 or 12. Who doesn't love a scene ending with the TARDIS crew laughing? Oh, wow. Look at him in his costume. The season 1 TARDIS crew is really special, Aiden Phillips says. Yeah. I love how there's like a family feeling to it all. I really do. Can you watch The Curse of Fenric sometime, please, Alex? Luke asks. Well, I'm definitely going to be watching it now that I have the season 23, 26 Blu-ray. But yeah, a lot of people love that episode, and I want to give it a fair chance rewatching it again. I'm an old timer, but Simpson says I got into the show back in the early 70s. That's so cool. Oh my gosh, bud, that's amazing. How fun. I love hearing about how people got into Doctor Who. Do you have the Doctors Revisited set, Nathan asks. Yes. I think it's behind me. Now, you can get these 3 in a box in a gift set, but it's really literally just plastic around it. So this has the Aztecs, the Tomb of the Cybermen, Spiritual Space, and Pyramids of Mars. And this has Earthshock, Vengeance of Varos, Remembrance of the Daleks, and the TV movie. And this has Bad Wolf, The Parting Ways, The Stolen Earth, Journey's End, The Impossible Astronaut, and Day of the Moon. Look, we get to see what their costumes for Marco Polo start out as. Playing in the snow, that's the best. I just want to see the next episode after this. Marco Polo. Aw. Having such fun. Oh boy. Whoa. That's crazy. The next episode, The Roof of the World. I've been watching Doctor Who since 2010 with the 11th Hour, and I was 5 years old. Matt Smith is my doctor, and started into classic Doctor Who in 2012. That's amazing. I wish Marco Polo existed. Here, Daniel Richardson. Keys of Marnus is the one that loads up next, but if only it were Marco Polo. Oh. Yes, so we all want Hartnell episodes to be animated, found, but I'm so glad we have the audio to listen to. That really is just such a blessing. So I'm so glad that fans back in the day recorded that audio. And yes, the loose cannon reconstruction is surprisingly good. Oh, and that's how I fell in love with the story. I started when I was 4 with Rose. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's so good to watch some Hartnell. I love the Hartnell era. And I'm so glad you all stopped by. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you in the next video on Saturday, and some of you I'll see in the quiz, and I will definitely see you in next week's live stream. We may got Zoom calls for every weekend in August, so we might do some of this earlier time slot. Who knows? We'll have to see what the schedule is like. But I'm so glad that you are all here. Keep growing your knowledge collection and connection. Stay safe. Remember to go easy on yourselves. Maybe watch some or listen to or read some Doctor Who. But take it easy. Stay safe. Thank you so much to Who's Books for being here. Louis Frisbee, Boba Tennant, the classic Doctor Who years fan, Andrew Kazoo 59, Paracrazy 123, Sir Meowslet 89, Dan Johnson, Luke Bushell, Hayden Phillips, Bud Simpson, the classic Doctor Who years fan, Daniel Richardson, Nathan Epley, John Fisher, everybody who is here, those that I've forgotten. Thank you all so much for hanging out, watching The Edge of Destruction with me. Have a great day. Thank you, Sonic the Screwdriver. Thanks for the stream. My pleasure. I will see you in the next video. Bye.